Boys, today we are back, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over my UFC Houston card predictions. And I have some pretty strong takes about this card. It's actually looking like a pretty decent card. It's back in Houston. They always have good crowds, and we're coming off a week break with no UFC, so I'm pretty excited for this card. It's pretty decent. And yeah, let's get right into it with the first fight, Juliana Miller versus Carly Judice. I'm going to keep this one short. Give me Carly Judice. She's off back-to-back knockouts as a woman. Women don't usually get a lot of knockouts, so she has some power in her hands, slick striking. Juliana Miller is terrible, and pretty sure she hasn't fought in a while, and she's genuinely dog shit. So give me Carly Judice by TKO in this. I'm going to go first round. Juliana Miller's terrible, so give me Carly Judice first round. Moving on, Yadier Del Val versus Jordan Levitt. Now, obviously, Yadier Del Val's last fight was, the betting scandal with, what's his name? Isaac Dalgarian. He went out there, slammed out Dalgarian in a round with a rear naked choke, but who knows if Dalgarian was really trying, so we can't really, the controversy around that fight, we can't really judge Yadier Del Val, off that performance, because who knows if Dalgarian was throwing the fight or not. And Jordan Levitt, he's like a win-loss fighter. Ever since losing to Patty, he lost to Patty, beat a can, lost again, and then beat Kurt Holloway by submission. To be fair, it wasn't the first round in his last fight. And I'm going to go Jordan Levitt. I think Jordan Levitt, Yadier Del Val, he's still young in his career, came off the Contender. So yeah, give me Jordan Levitt to win by submission. Give me third round submission. I don't think it goes the distance. I think Jordan Levitt can use his takedowns and use his experience to beat Yadier Del Val, who honestly hasn't impressed me that much, except his last fight, which did impress me, but then we found out Dalgarian was probably throwing the fight. So give me Jordan Levitt by zesty finish in the third round. Moving on. Phil Rowe versus John Paul Labosniani. Give me John Paul Labosniani to beat Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe is coming off a terrible loss, if I can remember correctly. Let me just try to remember here. Who did he lose to? Phil Rowe just lost to, Sung Hyun Ko. Well, that's actually not a bad loss, because he, beat up on Oban Elliott, who Oban Elliott is, low level, not a good UFC fighter. Like I said, I predicted his loss because he's dog shit at UFC 225. But Phil Rowe, he's lost 3 of his last 4, hasn't looked good at all. And John Paul Labosniani had I'm pretty sure it was a very quick TKO or /KO on the Contender Series. Looked decent, so he's the younger guy. Phil Rowe's looked pretty bad in his last few fights, so give me John Paul Labosniani. Does he get Phil Rowe out of there? Phil Rowe doesn't really lose by KO. He's only lost by TKO once in his career. Honestly, that is a little concerning how he's never been KO'd in Labosniani. I don't really know much about Labosniani. Let's go 29-28 Jean Paul Labosniani. He doesn't get a finish over the tough Phil Rowe, but Phil Rowe is declining. He's older. Labosniani's younger, so fuck it. Give me Labosniani 29-28. Moving on. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Punahele Soriano. This is a nice little decent fight right here. Ramiz Brahimaj, he's got a few wins in a row. If I can remember correctly, he does have 3 wins in a row, all by finish. Not against, the best competition, but he has come back. He's looked pretty decent. Going against Punahele Soriano, who, in my opinion, is a little bit overrated. He started out his career really good. Then got a few losses, but he's also on a 3-fight win streak. Also, he did beat Uros Medic, which is a pretty good win, who we're going to talk about later because he's in the co-main. But he beat Uros Medic by TKO, which is, that's pretty good. So he's on his 3-fight win streak. He's fought like a little bit better guys. But Ramiz Brahimaj, he is good on the ground. Punahele Soriano isn't that good, but he's explosive. Give me Soriano by TKO in the first round. Fuck it. I'm going big on this card. And I don't really give a fuck about these. I don't really give a fuck about the non-main card fights, so I don't really care if I get them wrong. But give me Soriano by TKO in the first round. I don't think Brahimaj hasn't looked like that good. Obviously, he's got some finishes, but if I can remember correctly, they weren't like the best clean finishes. And Punahele Soriano, he did beat Uros Medic, which I'm going to do a little MMA math. And even though Uros is chinny, he gets dropped in like every single fight. Puna did get him out of there pretty quick, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. Brahimaj is too, but I rate Punahele a little bit higher than Ramiz Brahimaj. So give me Punahele Soriano first round TKO. Moving on, Jocelyn Edwards versus Nora Cornell. Give me Jocelyn Edwards by decision. She's looked good. She's got a few KOs in her last. I'm pretty sure she has two KOs in her last 3 wins or some shit like that. I actually don't know, but who really gives a fuck? But yeah, I think she's on a little win streak. She's got a huge reach advantage. I'm pretty sure. Yep, 3-inch reach advantage. She's younger. She's taller. Fuck it. Jocelyn Edwards by fucking decision. All right. Alden Correa versus Luis Gurul. I'm not going to talk about this fight too much either. I don't know how these 2 fights are above Punahele Soriano versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Those guys are both on 3-fight win streaks in a better division. Let me see. Chidi versus Carlos. Yeah, okay. Honestly, Puna versus Ramiz should be the prelim headliner, but Alden Correa versus Luis Gurul. Don't really know much about either of these guys. I think they lost both of their last fights, so this is a fucking shitty ass fight. Give me fucking. Who did Correa lose to? Correa lost to someone like well known, didn't he? If I'm remembering correctly, who did Alden Correa lose to? I'm trying to remember. Oh no, he beat Alessandro Costa. I don't know. Give me Correa fucking by decision, 30-27 over Luis Gurul. I don't really know much about these fucking guys, and call me a casual, I don't give a fuck. Moving on, Ode Osborne versus Alibi Idris. Give me Ode Osborne. Give me Ode 29-28 or 30-27. One scorecard's 30-27, the other 2 are 29-28. He looked really good against Steve Erceg on short notice. He's been in the UFC forever. Idris, I don't know how he's even in the UFC. Didn't he fucking lose to fucking that guy that... Didn't he lose to the guy on Tough, or am I tripping? Did he lose to the guy on Tough, or am I tripping? He did lose to Joseph Morales, and then he's still in the UFC. I don't know how he's in the UFC. He lost on Tough in the finale. But yeah, give me Ode Osborne by decision. Huge reach advantage, a lot more experience. And I think Ode's probably fighting for his job. I think he's lost a few in a row now. Did he lose in a few in a row? I know he lost to Erceg. It was a really close decision. Before that, he beat Luis Gurul. And then before that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. So he's probably fighting for a spot to stay in the UFC. So give me Ode Osborne by decision. And pretty uneventful fight, probably, because it's flyweight and 2 shitties. Moving on. Chidi Njokuani versus Carlos Leal. Give me Chidi Njokuani over Carlos Leal. Now, Carlos Leal, he did look like he was going to be a nice little prospect, but he did get slimed out in his last fight by Muslim Salikov in 20 seconds. But to be fair, Chidi Njokuani did look good in the beginning of his career. Then went on had 12 fucking losses in a row. Then he went on a nice little 3-fight win streak, and then got subbed by Jake Matthews in a pretty shitty performance. So both of these guys will never be anything. They're just fucking outside of the rankings, just fucking NPC, fucking builder fights for fucking real contenders. So I don't really know who's gonna win this. I'll probably lean Chidi. Huge reach advantage. Leal, I think Leal's on steroids. His back looks like he's fucking all fucking PED up. So I don't know who. This fight really doesn't matter. I don't know how it's the prelim headliner. But give me Chidi. He's got long arms. I feel like Chidi looks really good, and then the next fight he looks really shit. And he just had a shit performance. So I'm banking on him having a good performance, and I think he can get Leal out of there by 2nd round TKO. He's so violent too. Some of his fights, he's really violent, and he looks really good. So I'm gonna bank on that happening. And Carlos Leal, two losses in a row, and I don't know, ship him out of the UFC. Who gives a fuck, really? Moving on, this is an interesting one. This is on the main card. Zachary Reese, a Texas guy, I'm pretty sure, versus Michel Pereira. Now, Michel Pereira has looked absolute dog shit recently. Lost to Kyle Dawkins in his last one out in 30 seconds. Got slimed out by Dawkins. And Zachary Reese hasn't looked good either. But some performances, he's the same with Chidi. Some performances he looks good, and then some performances he looks absolutely dog shit. I'm trying to remember who he went against. He went against Jackson McVeigh his last fight, got a submission win. He did lose to Azamat Bakoev. which was a decent loss until Yusuf Belgarui like fucking showed Bakoev as like a one-trick pony. But he lost to Cody Brundage too by knockout, which is just terrible. But other than that, he's got some wins. When he's on his game, he's pretty good. And Michel Pereira has shown like his decline is so fucking bad. He has no cardio. His last few fights have just been so fucking embarrassing. Got slammed out by Dawkins. Lost to Abus Magomedov when they both had no fucking cardio in that entire fight after the first minute. And then, of course, lost to Anthony Hernandez after having 30 seconds of cardio. So give me Zachary Reese. I don't think Michel Pereira is like fucking in it for fucking... I think he's just in it for a paycheck at this point. He's been in the UFC for a while. I think Zachary Reese is like a up and coming, hungry guy. He did have a fucking no contest with Cedric Dumas too. Like, that's the thing. You're going to fucking... You lose by TKO to Cody Brundage, and then Cedric Dumas, you can't even finish him. You fucking nut shot him and go to a no contest. Like, but then you had like decent wins. I don't know. This fight could literally go either way. This is a 50-50 fight, but give me Zachary Reese, the upcoming guy, the hungry guy in Texas. And Michel Pereira just recently has been unpickable. No cardio, so give me Zachary Reese. Moving on, Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Let me look up who the fuck Josiah Harrell is really quick. Like, who the fuck is this guy, man? Is this a short notice? Is this guy on short notice? Yeah, looks like a short notice opponent. Don't know much about him, so I'm just going to go Jacoby Smith. I said Jacob Smith because that's what MMA Guru calls him. He calls him Jacob instead of Jacoby, but this guy's supposed to be a pretty good prospect. He did go like fucking life and death with Nico Price in his last fight, which I guess Nico Price is tough, sometimes too tough for his own good, so... Yeah, that is a terrible look, honestly. If you're going to life and death, I mean, he was putting it on Nico Price, but Nico Price was landing back, I'm pretty sure, in that fight, if I can remember. But if you're getting tagged up by Nico Price in 2025, like, holy shit, the future's not bright for you. But I think Jacob Smith can get it. I call him Jacob again. I think Jacoby Smith can get it done and beat this fucking absolute can. He's only 5'7", and he's fighting at welterweight. Oh, hell no. This guy's got to be like a 55 or short notice. Can't make... I don't know what the fuck's going on. Give me Jacoby Smith. He's supposed to be a decent little prospect, but he did go fucking damn near life and death with fucking Nico Price. So give me Jacoby Smith by first round submission. And yeah, I don't know if I said this. I think give me Zachary Reese by first round submission. I think both of these fights are going to go back to back first round submission for Reese and Jacoby Smith. So yeah, moving on. Sergey Spivak versus Ante Delija. This one's tough. Delija did just get put out by Waldo, but hindsight, that's not that bad of a loss. Spivak's looking iffy in his last few fights. Who did Spivak last lose to? What was Spivak's last loss? He's not coming off a win, I know that for sure. Who did Spivak just recently lose to? I'm trying to remember. Spivak last lost to... Oh, he also last lost to Waldo. And then before that, he lost to Jailton Almeida by TKO. Yeah, give me Ante Delija. I think he has more hunger coming over to the UFC. Although he did just lose to Waldo. Sergey didn't get put out by Waldo, but Ante Delija did. I don't know, fuck it. Just give me Ante Delija by fucking first round TKO. Sergey Spivak doesn't have it anymore. And I expect him to get cut after this fight, after he loses. Give me Ante by first round TKO. Yeah, heavyweight division's cooked anyway, so who gives a fuck whoever wins that fight. Malik Wazell Costa versus Dan Ige. Now, I fuck with this fight. Malik Wazell Costa is going to win, and he is going to go into the top 12. He's going to take Dan Ige's spot. Dan Ige is one of the most overrated UFC fighters in UFC history. Yes, I said it. This guy is not entertaining whatsoever. He had like a few fucking... He's got like 2 KOs in his entire fucking career. And then he stepped up on short notice to fight Diego Lopez. Other than that, this guy's boring as shit. He's like a Josh Emmett type. Him and Josh Emmett are like the same fucking fighter. Just wing fucking overhands and hope they land. He's nothing special. 19-10, still in the rankings. If he loses this, please get him out of the rankings. Like, seriously, put Malik Wazell Costa into the rankings after this. I don't think he's in the rankings yet. I think he's just outside, probably like 16th or 17th. But once he wins this, once he beats Dan Ige, which I think he will by submission, I have Malik Wazell Costa third round submission. After a close little fight. Dan Ige is tough, so I could see him staying in there. But I think Malik Wazell can get him out of there with the grappling. I think third round submission. And Dan Ige is just going to have another stinker. Another boring fucking Dan Ige fest. I fuck with Dan Ige out of the cage. He's probably a nice guy, but man, are his fights boring as shit if he doesn't get a KO in the first 10 seconds. So give me Malik Wazell Costa by third round submission and to get himself into the rankings. Moving on. Jeff Neal versus Uros Medic. Now, Uros Medic, I talked about him a little bit earlier. This guy gets dropped in every single one of his fucking fights. Literally in the first minute. I'm pretty sure in the last like 4 fights he's gotten dropped. 3 of them in like the first minute. So expect him to get dropped early. Jeff Neal has kind of looked like a shell of himself recently. Lost to Shavkat. I think he got like a nice little win. He got a nice little win over someone. And then obviously he just coming off the spinning elbow knockout loss against Carlos Prates. So he's coming off some losses. Oh, he beat Rafael dos Anjos by TKO. That's what it was. Split decision with Ian Gary. Got submitted by Shavkat. He's 1-3 in his last 4. Uros is the up and coming guy. I want to pick Uros, but he does get dropped literally in every single one of his fights. And Jeff Neal does have slick boxing, so this is tough. I don't know. What the fuck should I do? What should I do here? Wish I could ask someone. Fuck it. Give me Uros Medic to beat Jeff Neal by decision. Give me Uros Medic to beat Jeff Neal by decision. I think Jeff Neal will drop him in the first round, like always. But I don't think Jeff Neal will go for the finish. He's not like a... I remember in one of Jeff Neal's fights, they were like begging him to like go for a finish. I think it was against Santiago Ponzinibbio. They were like begging him to do more and go for a finish. In that fight, he doesn't really have like a good killer instinct, so I think he'll drop Uros maybe in the first round or second round, probably in the first round. But then Uros will win the last 2 rounds, pressuring Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal not going for it, doesn't have a killer instinct, doesn't throw a lot of output. So give me Uros Medic 29-28 after getting dropped in the first round. He's an up-and-coming guy. He's younger. I think he's hungrier to get back up into the rankings, or get into the rankings. He hasn't been in the rankings, but if he wins this, obviously he'll be in the rankings. Won a few fights in a row, dropped that fight against Puna, but other than that, he's looked great. A lot of first-round finishes. The competition hasn't been the best, but I mean, that's to be expected. He's outside the rankings. So give me Uros Medic 29-28 after getting dropped, and Jeff Neal loses another one. And yeah, like towards the end of the rankings, he's probably going to be like 15th ranked and then fight another up-and-coming guy. So Jeff Neal, I hope you win because I fuck with you, and I fuck with Uros Medic too. I just hope it's a good fight. But yeah, I think you lose by decision. Moving on to the main event. I see a lot of people right now. I'm gonna drop a video about this one of these next days before the fight. I see a lot of people picking Sean Strickland to win this fight. I see a lot of people saying Anthony Hernandez is a little bit overrated. I see a lot of people saying people forget that Strickland's like really good. But I'm gonna say this: when has Strickland shown that he has good grappling? Tell me, like genuinely tell me. I've seen so many people talk about Sean Strickland's underrated grappling. Didn't use grappling against Dricus twice in those fights. Didn't use grappling against Paulo Costa. Didn't use grappling against Izzy. Didn't use grappling against Abis Magomedov. Who were his last opponents? Didn't use grappling against Cannonier or against Imavov. Like the guy doesn't grapple, so how do we know his grappling's underrated? He got held down by Usman in I know that fight is like so long ago, but he got controlled by Usman a lot. I think Anthony Hernandez is going to destroy Sean Strickland. Now, this fight either goes 2 ways. Sean Strickland teep kick TKOs Anthony Hernandez in the first round. That is a very big possibility. Anthony Hernandez is fucking horrible to the body. He gets hurt to the body in every single fight. So that's a possibility. Strickland could get him out of there with a body shot early. I could see that happening. Or I think Anthony Hernandez is going to dominate Sean Strickland over 5 rounds, 50-45 or 49-46. I don't think it's going to be close. I predicted Mario Bautista to dog walk Vinicius Oliveira, and I think Anthony Hernandez is going to absolutely destroy Sean Strickland. I think he's going to win 50-45 or 49-46. I don't think Strickland's grappling is good at all. He does, if he does get taken down, he gets right back up, but I think Hernandez is a different beast. He's not taking you down. He's wearing you up against the fence. He's holding you up against the fence. He's kneeing the thigh. He's punching. His cardio is amazing. Strickland does have good cardio too, but Hernandez's cardio I think is on a different level. Hernandez is from Texas, I'm pretty sure, so he's going to have like the home crowd, although Strickland is loved in Texas because, you know, he's like all-American and shit like that, but I think this isn't going to be close. I think Anthony Hernandez is going to genuinely murk Sean Strickland. Not finish him. I think Strickland's too tough to get finished, but I think Anthony Hernandez is going to go out there and absolutely just maul Sean Strickland. I think that's what's going to happen. 50-45 or 49-46. I'm going to drop a video more in depth about this later in the week, but yeah, these are my predictions. 50-45 Anthony Hernandez. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm so excited for this card. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.